Hello everyone and welcome. Today, I want to share a story with you. It's a story about time, about pressure, and about learning to slow down when the whole world seems to be screaming at you to hurry up. By the end of this story, you might just see how a little bit of patience can quietly change an entire life. In a crowded city, filled with noise, screens, and endless movement, lived a man named Arjun. Arjun was 32. He was responsible. He worked hard, but deep down, he felt restless. Every morning, his alarm blared too early. He'd rush through breakfast, rush to catch the bus. And even while sitting, his mind was sprinting. His office was a small, bright space, filled with computers and a quiet, constant pressure. The clock on the wall ticked loudly, and every single tick felt like a reminder that time was moving much faster than he was. Arjun would look around at his friends. One got a promotion. Another bought a house. A third posted smiling pictures from some exotic foreign country. Arjun smiled for them, of course. But later, when he was alone, his chest felt heavy. Comparison had crept into his life like an unwelcome guest. He compared salaries, lifestyles, and timelines. At night, lying in bed, one thought haunted him again and again. Am I too slow? One evening, after a particularly long and exhausting day, Arjun just couldn't bring himself to go straight home. The bus pulled up, but he didn't get on. Instead, he started walking. The city lights followed him for a while, then slowly faded behind him. The voices of the street grew softer, and his own footsteps began to echo on the pavement. At the edge of the city stood an old, forgotten park. Most people ignored it. The gate was rusty, the paint was peeling. But Arjun pushed it open and stepped inside. The air smelled of wet soil and old leaves. Tall trees stood like silent, ancient guards. Crickets sang a soft, gentle song, for the first time all day. Arjun slowed his steps. Near a small, still pond, something caught his eye, a turtle. Crossing the path, very, very slowly, Arjun stopped and just watched. The turtle lifted one foot, placed it down, paused, and then lifted the next. So slow, Arjun whispered to himself with a sigh. A street dog lay nearby, its body completely relaxed, its eyes calm. The dog watched the turtle too. But with no impatience at all, Arjun sat down on a wooden bench, his shoulders slumped. His breathing was fast and shallow, but the world around him was not. Inside his mind, thoughts were racing. Others are so far ahead. You should have done more. Why didn't you start earlier? The turtle finally reached the edge of the pond and slipped slowly into the water. There was no fear, no hurry, just a simple, quiet trust. Arjun felt a strange ache in his chest. Just then, an old park caretaker walked past, holding a broom. His back was slightly bent, his steps were slow but steady. He glanced at Arjun and spoke softly, "Fast feet don't always reach far." The caretaker pointed toward the pond. "That turtle has lived here for many, many years," he said. "Lots of animals come and go, but the turtle, he stays." Arjun frowned. "But it's so slow." The caretaker smiled gently. "Yes. And still peaceful, still alive." Then he walked away, sweeping fallen leaves from the path. Those words stayed with Arjun. That night, he lay on his bed, staring at the ceiling. His phone, for once, was silent beside him. He thought about his life, his constant rush, his fear. And for the first time, he asked himself a completely new question. What if I don't need to hurry? The next few days were not magical. Nothing changed overnight. Arjun still felt the pressure, he still had doubts, and he still made mistakes. But something inside him had softened. He started making small choices. He stopped checking social media every hour. He focused on one single task at a time. He began learning a new skill, slowly, without the usual panic. Some days he felt tired, some days he felt lazy, some days he wanted to quit, but then he would remember the turtle. Slow didn't mean failure, slow meant steady. Weeks passed. Then months. There were no loud celebrations, no sudden, dramatic success, but Arjun felt lighter. At work, he became more careful, more focused, more present. One afternoon, his manager noticed, not his speed, but his consistency. Arjun was given a new responsibility. It wasn't a big jump, just a steady step forward. That evening, Arjun walked home under a quiet, peaceful sky, and for the first time in a long, long time, he smiled. Not because he had won some race, but because he had finally learned to trust his own journey. One early morning, Arjun returned to the park. The sun was rising slowly, casting a golden light across the water. Birds were singing softly. And the turtle was there again, moving slowly, moving surely. Arjun felt a warmth spread through his chest. He understood now. Life wasn't a race. It was a path. And every path opens up when you walk it with patience. Arjun didn't become rich overnight. He didn't suddenly surpass everyone around him. But he became calm. He became focused. He became brave in a quiet, steady way. He had learned a profound lesson: rushing breaks the mind, but patience builds a life. Like a river, life always moves forward, even when it flows slowly. So, if you ever feel like you're late, tired, or pressured by the pace of life, remember this story. Remember the turtle. Remember the quiet park. Remember that slow steps still move you forward. Don't rush your life. Grow at your own speed. Take a deep breath. And know that patience always, eventually, finds its reward. Let your life unfold, one peaceful step at a time. Thanks for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content like this. Take care.